What do you do at the end of February? You march on. Okay, I know that was really bad. I was trying to find some funny like February jokes and they were all pretty awful. Um anyway, February is over. I for as long as January seemed, February seemed to just fly right by. So it is time once again to show you all of the awesome things I was up to in this last month and maybe a slight preview for what's coming. Um, but let me just be straightforward. There definitely was not a lot that happened in February. I So my dad died in February, and this year was the 10th anniversary of that. So that kind of added on to heavy seasonal depression, regular depression, anxiety attacks, so it was really a mental health month. And as much as I love crochet for mental health, and it definitely helps, there were days that all I really did was scroll on my phone because I just didn't have energy. And, you know, you just do what you got to do to get through. And it's March. So it's a new month and a new chance to begin again. And let's just get on it, right? So, February, in the act of just not being able to like focus a lot on crochet, I did a crap ton of knitting hats on the knitting machine. I like this is literally just a selection of them. I will put a picture here with the box that is full of a bunch of other ones that I did. I found this really crappy yarn that I had and some really pretty yarn that was from Hobie. And I held them double and they turned into this really cool, like sparkly, just like happy. Okay, so some of it is a little sad, but at the same time, like I think it really adds to the effect. So these are really cool looking. I mean, if you really wanted to, you can have them as a, double sided because they are that way. So if you really want to, but yeah, I made so much of these because like watching a video, watching YouTube, watching Netflix or something, and then just cranking out hats really was a good mindless activity. And that's really most of what I did the first part of the month, or at least like the first several days of the month, was a whole lot of these. And I'm not mad about it because this will help people out. So it's fine. So I showed this at the beginning of at the January recap, and I did finish this. This is a V-stitch blanket with Caron Big Cakes. Really simple, just a V-stitch all the way through. Did a simple single crochet border over all of it. Love how it changes. Did a little bit of color control so it wasn't so crazy when the color changed. And I do have some of it left, so that'll go towards a scrap blanket with some of that blue. But there is a blanket complete. And I did, come here. Let me have everything fall down because that's, just the way we roll. This has been after panic buying, or sad buying as I'm now calling it, at Joann the last week or so. I really have a fire lit underneath me because I have yarn. I have more yarn that I bought, and it is really time to gung ho do some projects. So things to look forward to this month. Definitely, there will be some challenges going on to help me get through some of this yarn that I am very blessed that I was able to purchase, but also standing in those lines at Joann, I don't know if anybody else had this experience, but you kind of bonded with the people around you. And the last time I went, we were very bad influences on each other. They would see something in my cart, and I'm like, oh, I'll watch your cart in line, go get it. Or I'd see something in theirs, and I'm like, oh, that's really good, but I don't really need that. They're like, yeah, but right now, like, you won't be able to find this again. And I was like, oh, that's so true. Okay, I'll go get it. And so it definitely rang up a lot more than I was planning at the cash register, but it's going away, right? Although we did talk to the store manager because I went on Friday, the 28th, and that was supposed to be the last day for like coupons as well. But the coupons disappeared from the app, and one of the people I was in line next to like actually knew the manager really well, and she asked him about it, and he said, as of 9 o'clock this morning, we were told like can't accept any more coupons, even though they'd been in the app earlier that day. And he said that anyone that came to the cash register with those, they couldn't accept them. So that's fine. But we did get some details from him. At least the store, and I'm assuming maybe some of the ones that the 300 that were sticking around. He said they're still planning on, or they've been told to expect shipments for the next like month or so, month to 5 weeks, 6 weeks. And it's just them emptying out like warehouses. So he said they told us it's going to be like normal size shipments. So I guess that means in like a week or two, I need to go and see what's been restocked or if there's magically anything new. I don't know. Anyway, all about to say, I definitely was like, okay, I need to get through some more blankets because honestly, that is mostly what I make with a lot of the yarn that I buy. And I have this already set aside for a project. I bought this yarn at Michael's a year or two ago, and I corner to corner. I freaking love it. So this is on the way down, but check this out. It's super pretty. I liked the colors a little bit more in the skein. It is a little bit crazy outside of, and there definitely was like some color repeats, but I figured like it's Sue, like just kind of sporadic anyway, that it wasn't that crazy looking. So you can see here that I am off on the side, and I did go a little bit taller, so I am now squaring off at the top. So this should hopefully be done pretty quickly. This was, we'll show it, the Value Jacquard Craft Smart. This was the color Arizona. Again, in the skein, I was like, oh, this is so pretty. But working it up, it is definitely pretty sporadic, and it's interesting. It's very interesting. It reminds me, I know that's not the right colors, but it reminds me a little bit of like a Joker, not the Joker, but kind of like, I don't know, Joker kind of colorway, simply because as I am accidentally unraveling some of it, you get that like speckles, and there's some speckle of the yellow, and then you get this, and then with the quarter to corner, you're getting these squares. So anyway, that's my thinking. But this one is pretty close to, like I said, I'm over halfway. I'm on the down part of it, and I did that much in like a day and a half. Because it works up super quick, and there were some books from the library that I had to finish, and honestly, corner to corner to me is the best to do when I'm reading because I literally don't have to look at it. I can be fully focused on what I am reading, and it's the perfect thing for it. Love it. So something that I swore I was going to finish before Valentine's Day, and I was going to be late in finishing it. It wasn't going to be done before Valentine's Day, but then the farther along I got in it, I was like, it's not sparking joy. It's not quite how I was imagining, or, you know, I'm just not liking it as I'm working it up. I got about halfway through it and I was like, am I really going to wear this when it's done? Is it worth spending another, you know, 13 plus hours on? And the ultimate decision was no. So I'll show you what I got, but this project is just being frogged. It did, so this was going to be a cowl. Wood's Landing cowl is, I believe, what it is called. And so the bottom had these cool squares, and then the top was going to be opposite, so it's going to be pink and gray, and then you had this really cool color section, and then you were starting on this V section. And I just, like, obviously this is rolling, but once you block it, it would be fine. However, yeah, it just wasn't, I just didn't love it. And especially when you have, like, you know, the really nice yarn. This is from Yarnaceous Fibers, and I just rather use it for something else. I don't know what, but this just did not end up being the project that I wanted it to be. So I am trying to be better about, especially like personal projects kind of like this. If you're gonna finish it and not love it, don't waste the time on it. Even though it's halfway done, this is yarn that will easily be used for another project, and just move on. So I just need to follow through and actually frog this yarn so it's not something that just sits there, because I definitely have another project that's like that right now that I just need to frog. But it's okay. I'm sad because I had all that time that I spent on it. However, it's not the end of the world. So that was not a fail, it was a learning. And I actually feel really proud of myself that I came to the decision to not continue because I didn't like it. Whereas before I would just shove it aside and be like, maybe I'll feel like it like in a couple months or a year. No, move on. Don't spend the time on it. A cowl that I am enjoying though, I did show this at the beginning of last month. Or no, I showed it at the beginning of January when I was sharing all my whips. I wanted to finish this before St. Patrick's Day, and I honestly think I will. I am very happy about it. This is a knit project, and this is Copper Foxes by Casey Knits. I'll put the name here in case I'm saying it wrong. But I didn't touch it for a little bit. I had the bottom done, and then I am just flying through this. I really like the texture on it. I think it's really fun. Again, knitting is not my normal forte. I can do it, and this is improving my skills. So it's not perfect. Knitters, don't hate me. But I think that is such a pretty pattern. And so this is going to be a St. Patrick's Day project that I will finish, because honestly, I did this like this much in like a couple hours. So it's really quick. And this yarn is from Montana Crochet. Really, really love her stuff. She is a magician with color. So I'm excited about this one. Oh my goodness. So to keep the puppy occupied, or kind of like more engaged with feeding and to eat a little bit slower, to do like some sniff training and stuff, I like will occasionally like scatter her food around a room, make her sniff it out. I just found a piece of dog food in here. That'll be a fun little surprise when she wakes up to find it on the ground. Another blanket that I'm working on, and this will actually end up being a tutorial, because it is such a fun way to use yarn and to kind of match yarn together that is, oh my gosh, that was loud. That is because it's my furls hook that maybe is discontinued, like this yarn was. This is Super Saver Marrakesh. And I really thought that was pretty with the yellows and the pinks. But I had 2 skeins of it. I didn't know what to do with it. This is obviously much older yarn. I paired it with a pink and a yellow, nice mustard yellow. And I love how that all looks together. So this is actually, it's not going to be the right way up. This is a log cabin blanket, and it's a swirly one. So you just build and build and build to the length you want, and it's really cool. I think I'm gonna do only 2 more sides because I'm not sure. I could probably do more. I worry, since this is the second skein and I don't have more of this, I don't know how much more I can get out of it. So this is coming soon. Not my normal colors, but this isn't for me. So someone's gonna love it, and I am so glad that I was able to find some colors that kind of go with it. And I'm really proud of this one. I really like that one a lot. My nice frills crochet hook is with that one. Well, I have a few frills, but that was like extra incentive to finish that blanket because I was using a fancy hook. So I showed this one last month. I haven't really done much more with it, but I thought I'd show it again anyway. This one with the super fluffy yarn that when I just want to do some granny squares for no reason, this is the one I'm working on. So this is going to be a long, slow one. I probably won't show it next month if it's not done. It's always there, just a couple granny squares at a time when I want a cleanse in between projects. So this one is a bit of not a bit of, it is a scrap project. I have a bunch of pinks that I got at a yard sale last year, and they were just not a lot of like the skein. So I am holding them double with black and putting them into a blanket. I also have like this yarn is Big Twist. This is coral, like bright coral. I don't necessarily like it by itself, but held with like black or something, it kind of tames it down. So that's that there. This peach color is definitely more yellow than peach. It's so funny because if I hold it up here, it's totally peach. But when you have it with the black, it looks so much more yellow. But this is a guy that I will probably just keep working on slowly over time. Like it's really cool looking. I'm really excited about it. But yeah, it's not a fast project, but it is just half double, so it's a really good, again, kind of cleanser, or I need something mindless. There we go. And also it's helping me get rid of the skein. I needed more pinks, and I was like, perfect. I don't like this color. Somebody will like it like this. So we'll just throw it in there with it. Okay, the final project that I worked on is something that I said I wanted to get started by the end of February. I have not started crocheting it, but the balls have been wound up, so I feel like that is a win. Let me show you. So this is the yarn that is for the cardigan I am planning on making for my local yarn festival in April. This is, starting at the top, we have this really pretty dusty purple. That is a misfit from Sorella Yarns. And then next we have this gorgeous. This is from Backcountry Knitter. And I love the colors in this. You can see that it pulls on that purple really well. So that's the next color down. And then we have this color from Treehouse Knits. And again, you can see how that pulls some of that blue out of there. So that is the next one. And then the fourth one down is is this gorgeous color. Ignore his seems to be coming off a little bit. This is from Yarnaceous Fibers, and again, the blue pulls out of that one. And then next from that is another one by Yarnaceous Fibers, and I actually bought these two together, so you can see that that blue is very similar, and they're kind of meant to go together. And then the final color is from Dragon Horde Yarns, and ugh, I have dogs. I have corgis, and they shed like crazy, so there is dog hair on this already. It is this gorgeous dark blue that has a couple different shades in it, and it matches well with this one. So this is going to be the bottom and also the ribbing. So I am so excited for this. This is the colors. Oh, wow. This looks even better wound than it did in the skeins, and I am so excited. The cardigan, I'll put it on the screen. This is for the Malloy from Megan Makes Do, and I'm so excited for this. I do have a concern. I should have bought two of these, because this color, the bottom color, you do need more yardage than like the top color. However, I am going to kind of fudge a little bit and see if I can borrow. So like in the pattern for my size, it takes like 560 yards of this and then like 200 something of this color. So I'm hoping and like it kind of goes up from there. So my plan is to experiment a little bit and see if I can, start the transitions on them a little bit earlier, just to keep good notes. And that way, this amount of yardage for all of this will work out well, versus having to see if Dragon Horde has this. She does have extension. Oh my gosh, she does have quite a selection on her website. Oh my gosh, the dog hair. But I don't want to take the chance. And already I have spent buku bucks on this. So but this is the Malloy cardigan, and I am so, so, so excited for her. She is just going to be mwah. And that's it. That is February whips and March starting. So March, again, like I said earlier, I am planning on several challenges. So there'll be more videos coming up. Again, that's why there wasn't a lot of videos in February, just because I was just dealing with mental health problems and just surviving. And that's a win. That's all we need sometimes, or all we can do sometimes. So my plan for March is to definitely be more consistent with posting and getting like a tutorial out for that one blanket, several challenge videos if possible, a couple more Stitch of the Weeks. Let me know if there's anything specific you want to see. I am planning a trip to a store to maybe pick up a hook or two, do like some hook comparisons. I am open to suggestions, and thanks for joining me. I hope you're having fun. I'm having fun doing this, and if you like what you see, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing, because I still can't believe there's that many people that like me. And I really appreciate the support. So I will catch you in the next one. Bye.